Please put your name in the chat and what you're up to. If you're new and you've never been here, we'd love to hear that too. So we are live on Facebook on Stamping Mom and also on the Stamping Mom YouTube channel. It would be great if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yep, we want YouTube subscribers so we get lots of watch time.
Why do you want lots of watch time,
because
Steve?
I don't know what happens if we get lots of watch time. I just listened to you. You said it was important.
We don't know, right?
Apparently it's important. YouTube says it's important. So
yeah. You know. They send me messages and say, we have enough people, but not enough watch time. So
apparently that's important.
So what else do we have tonight? Are we going to spin the wheel, Steve?
We are going to do Prize Patrol.
Yay.
So everybody, here's what you need to do. You need to input into the comments. What is it? It's a hashtag.
Were you going to call it a pound sign?
I was going to call it a pound sign.
For the fourth week in a row.
Prize Patrol. Hash sign Prize Patrol into the comments, and you will be registered for our drawing.
He means hashtag. And it doesn't matter if it's capital letters or small letters, just hashtag Prize Patrol.
But just remember, it's only during the live video. And unfortunately, you do have to be a U.S. resident in order to qualify.
And why is that, Steve?
I'm
asking you all the hard questions.
You are. I think it's because of the shipping costs, shipping other parts of the country. So I apologize.
Okay. Well, we are going to make a fun card. Steve actually came up with this card, and it is an original fun fold. I'm going to show you exactly how to cut it. Steve is going to assemble it. That's his new word.
Assemble. I'm
a
card assembler, not a card maker.
So I want to show you. I did make this same fun fold for the first time last year. And it opens like that. You can see from above, the sailboats are sailing on the water. And I'm going to tell you what I used for this. Okay. I used the High Seas 3D embossing folder. This is the only thing on that card that's retired, but some of you may have it. So this bottom part, if you look up close, the waves, I just cut along the wave line, which is pretty fun. And then I also switched out this designer series paper because what I had on there was retired, but this is Beauty of the Earth. And this stamp set is also still current. It is Sailing Home. And I use Night of Navy, Daffodil Delight, and Soft Suede. So this was the card that's the inspiration. Steve found this laying on the table, and he's like, I have an idea. Like, where do you guys get your card ideas? Steve saw this card, and then the puffin card, the whole idea for it popped into his head.
Yes. So
that is what we're making. So who's on tonight, Steve?
So tonight we have quite a few people on. We have Tony and Courtney and Jean and Barb Kingsley and Becky White and Sandy and Carol. So we've got quite a few people, 2 Carols.
That is awesome.
And yeah. So it's wonderful to have everybody. Thank you for being here. We have Elaine Wolf from Minnesota just joined on YouTube. Hi, Elaine.
Yeah, and thank you for joining on YouTube. That's awesome. Okay. Steve's pointing to something. I don't know what you're pointing to. Okay. I know what it is. Sorry. So there's a joining special. It starts in 2 days. $75. If you're not already a demo, if you're a demo on Joy Team and you're on here tonight, would you put in the comments how much you love being on our Joy Team? We actually Zoom together almost every Tuesday night of the year from 5:30 to 6:45, and we make a project. So you'd have stamping friends all over the United States. And we would love to have you join us. So if you're on Joy Team, put in the comments and tell them why you love being on the Joy Team, because I know I love having you on the Joy Team. Starts in 2 days, $75. You pick out 125 of whatever you want, and then you get a discount ongoing. So it's awesome. What else do we have? The catalog. If you don't have a demo and you want the catalogs, just email me and I will send those to you free. Also, we're going to switch over to November, but right now there's free gifts for October. I don't have the November slide done yet, but you pick out a free gift with every $50 purchase. And you can check out my blog at stampingmom.com, and all the information is on there. We have video tutorials for sale, video tutorials with every $50 purchase, all kinds of things. So
good stuff.
Okay. Are we ready to make the project?
Let's make a card.
Should we make Steve cut it?
Oh,
No.
I am ready to assemble.
You are ready to assemble. Okay, I'm going to show you quick what you need to make the card. So we're making his puffin card. And one of the things that's really fun, I hope you have it. I've showed this before. On page 135 in the catalog, it's number 4, Ombre specialty paper. We use this Night of Navy ombre paper, but I've been using all these papers. Totally love that. You should get it if you don't have it. It's number 155784, and it's $10. You get 4 sheets, 1 of each color. It is lovely. I use the stitched rectangles to cut out the sentiment. Do you like that sentiment, honey?
I do like that.
Be
sentiment.
cool, be chill, be merry.
And it's perfect because of all the ice that's on the card.
Yes. Then we have the party puffins. I had to get this. I'll tell you later. It's our daughter. She has a quote about puffins. Then we have the Arctic bears and the dies that go with them. This is Barb's. Thank you, Barb Kingsley. You can have it back tomorrow. And then Penguin Place. Steve is laughing.
It makes it sound like, she's lucky to be able to get it back.
Yes. Sometimes I hold people's stamp sets hostage, and honestly, sometimes people hold my stamp sets hostage. So
it's a big community.
It works both ways, but it's fun to share. Okay. So I have directions for this. Here's my template. This will be on my blog later this week. And this is all you need to do. It's pretty simple, but if you go step by step, it is good.
It's a really cool fun fold.
Yes, it's really cool. And Steve's going to decorate it. So stick around for the prize patrol at the end. So first I took thick basic white cardstock, and it's 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to copy. I have all these directions right here that I'm going to be looking on off to the side. So the first thing you're going to do is put it with the short side at the top and take this left edge. Am I good under the camera, Steve?
You're good.
I'm going to take the left edge and go over to 1 1/2. And we're going to be cutting the first 2 cut lines first. If you don't know already, you need to put a ruler on your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. This is a 1/4 inch by 11 inch yellow strip I put on with mini glue dots right here. And this helps me so I know where to start and stop cutting. Okay, so we're going to take the dark blade, which is the cutting blade, and we're going to set it down at 5 inches. And I think it would be impossible to see without the ruler. So I'm going to set it down at 5 inches, and I'm going to cut from 5 inches down to 8 3/4. So this makes it really easy. Now lift it up and move the left edge over to 2 inches. And we're going to make 1 more cut. And the 2 inches, we're going to set the blade down at 4 1/2. And we are going to go from 4 1/2 all the way down to 8 1/4. And that is all the cutting. So you're making these 2 parallel cut lines. Okay, now we're going to move the cardstock so the long edge is at the top. And let me find where I am here. We're going to put the cardstock at 4 1/2. This left edge is at 4 1/2. Now get the cutting blade out of the way. No more cutting. And we're going to start at the top, and we're going to score down to 2 1/4, which is where that first cut line is. If you have any questions, just ask Steve.
Yeah.
Now, we're just going to move over to 5 inches. So your left edge is at 5 inches. And now we're going to take the scoring blade and we're going to score between the two cut lines. So between 2 1/4 and 2 3/4. Are you answering questions over there, honey?
We don't have a lot of questions yet.
No questions? Move over one more time to 5 1/2. And this time we're going to start at 2 3/4, which is the bottom cut line. And we are going to go all the way to the bottom. So I'll take this out and show you. If you can see, we made a score line here, a score line here, and a score line here. So kind of stair steps down on this edge.
So they'll be able to see this on your template, right?
Right. So we scored down.
Yep.
Scored down. This is a cut line, scored down. This is a cut line, scored down. Now all we have left is these 3 score lines over here. We're going to do those next.
So they're kind of a reverse order of the stair steps then on the other side.
Okay. I hadn't looked at it that way, but that makes sense. Okay, now we're going to keep moving this left edge over, and we're at 7 3/4. You guys give a shout out if you're excited to see Steve. He's got a story of why he made this card.
Okay, I'm nervous already.
You're nervous? Don't be nervous, honey. Can you guys cheer for Steve? I'll cheer for you, honey. Now we're going to move over.
Mary Hazlett Harris just got on tonight.
Hello, Mary. I'm glad you're here. Steve has a card to show you. Okay, so we moved over to 8 1/4, and now I'm scoring between the two cut lines. So it's 2 1/4 to 2 3/4. And just one more. We're going to move over to 8 3/4. This actually, after you make it, it's not hard. It really isn't. And we're going to go from the top all the way down to, from the top down to 2 3/4. Okay. It's magic.
Let's see the magic.
Let's see the magic. This is the part where we pray it all works, right?
Prayer is always a good idea.
Take your bone folder and just start creasing the cardstock at all the places. Yeah, Steve refused to do this part.
Well,
but it's okay.
I'm sure I could. I mean, in theory, I could do it.
You could.
But it takes multidimensional thinking, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so we're going like this. This part's coming forward. Oh, look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. So I say we like to make clean and simple cards, and then I make this fun fold. But,
but it's still,
you know, everybody needs a challenge now and then.
It is not that hard to do. I could do it, I bet, if, you know, I had more time to practice off camera.
Off camera. Actually, he hasn't practiced for this card at all.
Who needs to practice?
So you could do the card this way. This would be another fun thing. What would you put in the little skinny part?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But what I do is I tip it over on its side. Okay. So.
Well, if you were to do it this way, then the surprise would be whatever is on the step coming forward.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. So, Steve, we're going to leave this here for you. Should I show all the pieces and do the measurements and then let you take over?
Yes.
Okay.
That way I can show some banners and with the measurements on them.
Okay.
You're going to start with your ombre paper?
With my ombre paper. Okay. So we have ombre paper here that's going to go up in this corner. And what does that measure?
How about 2 1/4 by 5 1/2?
Okay. This one is 2 1/4 by 3. It's going to go up in this corner. Oops. Sorry about that. I just knocked the camera. And then the other one that Steve talked about is 5 1/2 by
2 1/4.
And that piece is going to go here. It's the same paper. It's just a lighter shade.
Because the shading changes as you go down that piece of paper.
Hence the ombre. So that's what we're doing for that. And then you need some pieces. I did use white glimmer paper that's retired, but you could use silver glimmer paper. And so many of you have stamped for a long time, and I bet you have some glimmer paper in your stash. And
You're definitely going to have it hold it up to the camera because it's hard to see it on the white mat.
yeah, and I gave you all my measurements,
right?
So you're going to have to tell me what they are.
Do the measurement that's 1/4 inch by 3 and
1/4 inch by 3.5, and that piece is going to go right here on this little strip, like that. And then we have another measurement that's 1 inch by
4 inches.
4 inches.
Yep.
And that came out of Barb's Arctic Bears. Oh, I was going to show you this too. When you do your dies, Barb does this. She makes a copy of it. And then when you go to put the dies back in, she has it on a magnetic sheet, just like I do. And then she knows where the dies go. But I used this die here to cut the water.
Sorry, little camera adjustment needed.
And then the 1 inch by 5 inch of the white is what we made. What would you call this? An iceberg?
Yeah, an ice float.
An ice float. So I cut it out like this, and then I shortened it a little by cutting it off. But look at this, Barb. All your pieces are still here. Don't you love it when someone borrows your set and gives it back to you? Well, the polar bear isn't there, but he will be. And then we used one more thing out of here. This ice. This is 1 inch by
4 inches
of the glimmer paper, and I just cut out this corner, and it is put up here so icicles are falling. Okay, hopefully I don't lose all those pieces. We also stamped the polar bear, and I'm going to show you how to stamp him. We stamped and colored the fish, and all of the markers that we used for the Stampin' blends, we used the light real red. And then if you have it, this is retired, the mango, the light mango melody. But if you don't have that, the dark daffodil delight works well too. So you just need a red marker and a yellow marker. I'm going to try to put all your pieces back in here, Steve.
That would be preferred, but you need to show them where you got the fish.
The fish.
The fish was a stamp that was in that same the Puffin set.
The fish was in the Puffin set. Yep. In the Puffin set, I used this fish right here and colored him, and I used this Puffin. And I do want to show you something with the Stamparatus. And then the Season's Greetings and the tree is from the Penguin Place, and the stocking cap is from the Penguin Place. So that is everything we used. I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we'll let Steve take over. So when you are doing this, whether you have penguins or puffins, either one, it is good if you have a Stamparatus, because we're going to ink it up with the black Memento. I'm going to put this out of the way so it doesn't get inked. But you want it to be really black.
Why don't you pull it down this way while you're inking, and then we'll put it up there while you're
Okay.
not.
Are you going to help me?
I am.
Okay. So if you have a Stamparatus, actually, if you don't have a Stamparatus, you should get one. Okay. So sometimes what I do, if you have arthritis or anything, you might want to take a block and just rub it. And that's actually pretty good. Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks pretty black.
Yeah. Normally what I do is I ink it up and I do it again. But I'm going to show you one other thing. So the Stamparatus is good to get the penguin or the puffin as black as you need it to be. Another thing is on this card, Steve wanted the bear to be facing this way. And if you look on the stamp set, the bear is going the other way. The bear is looking that way. And that would look funny with him looking off this side of the card.
He would be mooning the puffin, and that's not what we want to be doing.
That's one way to look at it, honey. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to ink up the bear really well with the black memento. And then this is a silicone mat that Stampin' Up! Sells. And again, you need one of these. And we're going to put it in place so it doesn't move around. And we're actually going to stamp the bear right on the silicone mat. And I'm going to rub the block on here again to make sure it gets all covered.
I have to tell you, the technique she's doing right now, I was amazed. I had no idea you could do this. And it makes complete sense after you see it.
So now I put the white cardstock on top of the ink on the mat. And I'm just taking the block and rubbing it on here. And voila, look, the bear is going the opposite way. So on the stamp, it's going this way. And on my picture, it's going this way. And now you might say, okay, if you do that, then the die isn't going to match, right? Because the die is made for it to go like this. So what do you think of that, Steve? You can't use the die.
You've got to do something.
At first, I thought, well, I'll fussy cut the bear. But then what I did is I turned the bear over and I held it up to the light. And I put the die where I could see the bear in the light.
They can't see what you're doing, honey.
Sorry.
Let's do this. Here's a light.
Okay.
Can you see it through there?
Not really. It needs to be a brighter light. Well, just trust me. If you take your piece of paper and hold it up to the light, you can see the bear through it. And then I just put this on here and I put a piece of washi tape on and ran it through. And then I came out with my bear cut out like that.
That's
Yay,
awesome,
cool
which
idea,
is much
right?
better than fussy cutting because, you know.
Or you could fussy cut it.
Some people like that. I mean, it's kind of like drawing with crayons. It's somewhat therapeutic, but to me, it's nerve-wracking because, you know, you just mess up and you're going to clip your bear.
Okay, who's ready for Steve? Okay, it's okay, honey. Do you want me to put it together and you can just talk about why you picked what you did?
No, I'm putting it together. I can do this. Where's my adhesive?
Where's your adhesive? Well, if they need to be popped up, I put them on the back for you already. So
wow.
Here's a little pile. Don't lose anything.
So this is a great class for me because you've got everything prepared.
Okay. I would suggest you start with the inside. I stamped it, I adhered it, and you just need to put it in the card. Okay?
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
I can do this. Hi, everybody. I'm not used to being in this position. So,
yay, Mary liked the cool tip.
I'm going to take our glue, and I have learned how to use just a little bit and kind of go all over. This is one of my favorite parts, by the way. I like to tell her to do fun patterns as we do this.
Okay, so can I answer Marceline? Did you turn your camera off over here?
It's never been on.
It's all black.
Yeah, it's on. You just can't see yourself.
I'll come over here.
No,
Marceline.
Just look right into that camera. You're fine.
Oh, they can see you, but you can't see you?
Right.
Hi, everybody. Marceline asked, where did it go? Barb is saying adjust the camera, please.
I already did that.
Okay. So Marceline needed the last two score measurements. And the last two score measurements, we put the left edge of the cardstock at 7 3/4. I'll show you here.
Okay. So we're making good headway. So now the good news is I'm doing all the pieces that are easy to put on there because I just have to put them where they are on the card.
Can I give you a suggestion?
Yes.
I would put this one on first because that one is going to go over the top. And you can decide, do you want it lighter on the top or darker on the top?
It's going to be lighter on the top because that's like, you know, dawn is breaking or something.
Okay.
You know?
Well, let the dawn break and put that on the top. Marceline, I will take a picture of this because it's hard for me to tell you the measurements. Well, I have to make sure. And don't use too much glue. Sometimes beginner stampers use too much glue. And you want to use just a little bit of glue. It's super sticky. Did it go okay on the inside?
Yes. Do you want to see my inside?
No, I trust you.
See?
Very nice.
Look at that. It's almost like evenly spaced around the edge because I know that that's important too.
Okay. So now you can put your waves on. And do you want to show them how the wave is taller?
So the wave is taller on this end because that's where we're going to adhere our little ice float. So you got to have a little bit more room for the ice float. So you go on the upside of the wave.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So I wouldn't put glue toward the top because the waves are going to stick up over the top.
That was a good point, Beth.
Thank you.
It's almost like you've made the card before. Although I
Okay,
did just use
it's too much glue.
Yes, I
You know
did. But
something?
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spread it out this way. It'll be okay.
And another thing we could do is we could take a sponge and we could take some of that off of there.
Okay.
I'm here for you, baby.
She's basically using all of her techniques for beginning stampers at classes. She does this for them too. I can save it for you. Don't worry. Don't give up. We can save it.
So go all the way to the bottom.
I've got wiggle room. Kind of.
Kind of. Okay, so we do have...
Oh, wait. I'm going to come back up again because...
Because why?
Because I wasn't all the way over to this side, and that didn't look good. And you know me, I like...
Is it the right length?
It's not the right length. We're going to have to chop off one side, but...
Okay.
I'm having a heck of a time.
Here.
Hold on.
It'd be easier to chop off that side because we need the fold on this side. So why don't you line it up on this side?
Okay, this is why she does not have me assemble cards. Look at that. It actually does seem to be the right length because you have
Yay!
it the right length. Okay, but I'm just off a little bit on that side.
Oh, it's okay, honey.
I feel inadequate. That's just not good.
No, look what we can do. We can take the trimmer and we can MacGyver it.
We need to put a little more glue on this too because I undid too many times. So hold on.
Notice how I come in and push you out of the way. Just a little bit, honey.
I'm scaring the heck out of her, basically. You're doing a video and you're butchering my card, Steve.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everyone knows everything is fixable. So this little
everything
edge
is fixable.
that
I'm
he's
worried
worried about, we're just going to cut it off. Look at that. It's perfect. Good job, honey.
Okay, we're back to perfect. I like that. I feel so much better now.
Okay.
Seriously, I suddenly have this feeling of relaxation coming back over me.
So, but we have to ask a question because we need time for people to know. Steve's going to put his snow float up here. And there was question about whether you want the polar bear or do you want this guy like kicking in the air?
Because he would be kicking the other puffin off the ice float.
So can you explain what's happening on this card and then they can decide?
I can. So this is sort of a circle of life card, okay? Because obviously the puffin is excited about the fish, which has been gift wrapped for him. It is his lunch, gift wrapped, ready for him to eat. All he has to do is dive in and get it, right? And by the same token, the bear's rather excited to see the puffin because bears eat puffins.
Honey,
wild,
you have people eating people on your card.
The puffin's excited to see the fish. The bear's excited to see the puffin. Everybody's excited. So, circle of life, food chain, that's the way it all works. But, you wouldn't necessarily, you could just say the bear and the puffin are just friends. And he's just excited to see the puffin because they're friends,
And the other card could be just friends, puffin friends. So I guess the question is, do you want a polar bear on the next card or do you want it to be the two puffins and leave off the polar bear?
I I like the polar bear myself.
You like the polar bear?
But look, he's got a cute little red hat on. He's not a mean polar bear. He's a friendly polar bear.
He's a Christmas. He's a cool polar bear, right?
Okay, so now I'm going to keep assembling while you get the verdict.
Oh, Mary is saying she would rather just see Puffins on there and not see the polar bear. Why don't you try? Oh, Barb wants the bear. Becky says it's cute. What else? I'm glad you guys are putting Prize Patrol in here. Glenda says, you can do it, Steve. Go, Steve, go.
I'm reinvigorated now.
Are you? Yay. Chris likes the tips on the Stamparatus. Steve, Ruth wants to know no metric today.
Yeah, I know. We got mine up for no metric. Sorry, Ruth. I mean, that's kind of inconsiderate. You're nice enough to get on and watch, and we should at least have your metric measurements for you. Okay, the puffin is puffed up. How about that? Did you hear that, Beth?
Can I interrupt you? Does this camera work? Can you guys see what I'm holding in my hands? This came in the mail today, and Ruth, you made me cry. It says, congratulations. It's all in Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. It is so sweet. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His mercy endures forever. Psalm 136:1. Congratulations, you did it. And she wrote me a sweet note. And I love it, Ruth. Thank you so very, very much. This was congratulating me on the incentive trip that I earned that was then canceled. But this just totally made. Did you see this yet, Steve? You weren't home today. Steve went back to work. In fact,
I was actually in the office wearing a suit and tie today.
We had to take a picture of him in front of the house on the steps. His first day of school. He was kind of nervous. His first day back in the office.
So every first day of school for our kids, we took a picture of them on our front steps with their backpacks going to school.
Until the year everybody left, when Keegan went to college, we took a picture of Maya and Molly, our puppy dogs. Where are they? Usually they're right under, Molly's right under Steve's feet. Come here, Molly. You can be on the camera tonight.
So the puffin, you put glue dots on the feet, or did you use glue?
I put glue dots. This is Molly. She sits right underneath the counter where we make cards at. And then when I'm over there at my desk, she sits under there too. But Maya and Molly look like they're twins, but they're sisters. So when we became empty nesters, we put Maya and Molly on the steps and took a picture of them for the first day of school. And now we haven't taken any since until today. And now we have Steve going back to the office, kind of like the first day of school. Molly's like, oh, I was taking a nap, Mom. So he is just putting that puffin on with glue dots on his feet.
Oh, I just used glue, but
okay.
I didn't think they glue dots. So
but
now
when you open it up, do you see how the puffin's kind of like on a ledge, ready to jump?
So it's almost like he's jumped. After you open the card, he's jumped into the open air so he can go get his fish. So that's the animation of this card.
Okay.
It's diving into the water. Animation.
Carol said, I'm sorry your incentive trip got canceled. You know, it's kind of funny. I actually wrote to Sarah, who's the CEO of Stampin' Up, about a month ago, asking if I could just defer to the next trip. And she wrote back to me today. Did I tell you that, Steve?
Yeah, you showed it to me.
Yeah, she wrote back to me today. So I still can't defer it, but you never know. Ruth says, you're forgiven. So glad the card finally arrived. Oh, I bet it's slow. I love the card, Ruth. It doesn't matter how long it takes to get here. I wish I was better at sending the cards. Barb is talking. Oh, hello again, Molly. Yeah, Barb. Okay, Barb was over here helping me with shares a lot when we sold so many shares this fall. And she would sit down in the lazy boy chair and Molly would curl up with her and fall asleep on top of Barb as she was cutting ribbons. So is that a good thing or a bad thing, Barb? I think Molly liked it.
Look at that. I even got
How are you doing, honey?
Look at that. And there's not a lot of glue, extra glue.
Yay! Are you proud?
I am so proud of myself.
Are we doing polar bear?
It is chips down time now.
Okay,
for Bear Puffin.
Bridget says we are friends, not food.
I love it. So I guess that would be a kicking puffin.
Sandra likes the bear. Joyce likes the bear. Shirley, oh, it's the bear, honey. They want the bear.
Yay!
More votes for you guys are just sucking up to Steve, I think.
Here's my bear.
Okay, so your bear, don't put glue on his head because his head hangs over.
Right.
But you can put glue on the rest of him. But this card, literally, Steve has had this in his head for weeks, and he kept talking about it. So last week we we're like, okay, it's time to make the puffin card.
So puffins have a precious place in our heart because our daughter Abby, I probably told you this story. Our daughter Abby saw that there were puffins in the Harry Potter books.
Yes.
And she was determined that they must be mythical animals because a lot of the animals in
is mythical.
Harry Potter are mythical animals.
The owls
right?
aren't.
Right.
So.
The owls aren't. But so when we went to Alaska, we went on a whale watching trip out of Seward. And we said, guess what, Abby? We get to see puffins. And she said, would you quit teasing me?
Yeah.
I know they're not real. And sure enough, we got out in the middle of the ocean and these birds were diving for fish. And the park ranger said, those are puffins. And she was just, surprised as heck that they're actual real animals.
So in her senior yearbook, they have to put a quote and she was just being silly. But what was her quote? It was like, puffins really do exist or something, because she truly did not know until then. Some people say the bear should be eating the fish. Chris says maybe the bear wants the fish too.
He could.
Let's see. The bear could go on the inside. Lots of bear. Barb, thanks for sharing it. If you guys would share the video, if the video won't scare people.
Look where I looked the puffin. Here, the bear is like actually over the top of the puffin.
Is the puffin afraid?
No.
Are they friends or food?
Well, he's just, it's like he's snuggling with the puffin. The bear is
Okay. Do you guys own the puffin set?
Okay, I will say our trimming effort on this side left a small problem because now we have to trim the inside too.
But we can do that. That's okay. We'll trim that.
And that,
Okay.
So
you did it.
That was my version of the card.
Steve.
Here's Beth's original version of the card.
But that was with Steve telling me how he wanted it to be. So I put it together, but he was the one.
And she actually three-dimensional the bear. She put, what do you call those on the back of it to pop him up?
What's that?
He's popped up off
on
of the
Stampin'
card.
Dimensionals.
Stampin' Dimensionals. I just used glue and glued him flat onto the card. So
Tony says she has both sets. Are you gonna make this card, Tony? We'll see. She says great card. Bridget doesn't have the puffins. I think Chris told me she didn't have the puffins either. I had to buy the puffins because of Abby being so enamored with the puffins. Oh, you have one more thing to do?
I need the thingy dingy. Oh, here it is.
The pokey tool. Tony says she may at some point make it. Barb says, great job, Steve.
Thank you, everyone, for the encouragement.
Mary has neither set.
I obviously need it because...
Glenda has neither set. Jean needs the sets. Okay.
There we go. Now we're done.
Yay! Good job. Should we switch?
It's the Arctic scene.
The circle of life, right?
The friendly Arctic animals.
Okay. Are we ready?
We are.
Okay, so for Prize Patrol tonight, I know some of you do not have these sets, but Steve is going to give, are you giving away my card or your card?
You know what? I think that maybe we should give away your card because your card, I think, honestly looks better.
No, I think people would like your card. But anyway,
we'll give away one of the cards.
Let's do Prize Patrol. Do you have the wheel ready?
Right.
Hopefully you put hashtag Prize Patrol in the comments.
That's right.
Thank you for sticking around for the whole video. We so appreciate you. But the first person of Prize Patrol tonight is going to get this card in the mail.
Okay. I think we're ready. So what are we giving away first?
We do appreciate you. The card is going first.
Okay, here we go.
Wow, look at all the people who joined tonight. Chris Robinson. Yay, Chris.
You won the card.
Chris, I have you down, and I'm pretty sure I have your address. So I will mail you the card. Congratulations. You can let me know if you want Steve's or mine.
Okay, and before we do the next drawing, I have a banner going across the bottom telling you how to claim your prize. Now, in this case, Beth knows Chris's address, so she's just going to mail her the card.
Right.
The next prize, Beth, is
your choice of any of my tutorial bundles. I just had a new Christmas bundle go out last week, and you can choose from all of them. There's, I don't know, 15 maybe different choices, and that will be winner number 2 tonight.
Okay, here we go.
I hope you guys are okay with laughing along with us. It's fun for Steve and I hope it's fun for you too.
This is exciting.
Yes. Joyce Carter Holland. Yay, Joyce. So you need to let me know which tutorial bundle you want.
And you can do that at stampingmom.com/claim your prize patrol.
And if you do that and you don't hear from me, email me, because we're working out that part of the system, right, honey?
Sure. I think it'll work though.
Okay. That would be awesome. You guys are great. So here's what we made tonight. Thank you so much for coming. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And I appreciate you coming and laughing with us. Please come back again next week. Tell your friends to come and join us. And I hope you all have a blessed week. I will answer all the comments. I will put the measurements and everything on my blog. So look for it later this week. And have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.